Hello, it's Warren Hewitt. Hope you're doing marvellously well. Those of you who have been watching for a while will know that we have several other contributors to this channel. Guys like Chris Selim, David Mood, and of course, Carlo Libertini. Carlo he's kind of our Melodyne expert. In fact, he's an expert in lots of other different softwares. He's very kindly done this Nugan Audio video for us. This is a really wonderful plugin called MasterCheck Pro, which allows you to basically see, or hear more importantly, how your music is going to be played on various different platforms. It seems that these days, every streaming service, whether it be Spotify or Apple or whatever it is, has their own idea of how loud you should be listening to your music. And they are turning it up, down, sideways, whatever, and there is no standard. So this plugin itself will allow you to hear how that's going to be. As ever, please subscribe, go to producelikeapro.com, sign up for the email list, get a whole bunch of free goodies. And of course, if you hit that notification bell that's bouncing around here somewhere, you'll be notified when we do a new video. Okay, the best thing about this plugin is you can win one of 3 of them by entering the competition, and also a grand prize of a producer pack giveaway, which is like $549 worth of plugins and all kinds of free goodies. Thank you, Nugan, for doing that. Take it away, Carlo.
It is no secret that more and more people today are consuming their audio through online streaming services than ever before. But as content creators like us, singers, songwriters, producers, mixers, engineers, we should understand exactly what is happening to the quality of our audio through these online streaming services and work within those parameters to maintain the highest quality possible at all times. And in this video, we're going to take a look at just that. Now, I set up a session here. I've got some stems for mastering. I've got drums, bass, rhythm guitars, and such. And I've chosen a rock band. This song is called Mad Love by My Indie Rock Band. It's punchy, it's a little dynamic, and I think it'll exactly serve the purpose. Now, on my master bus here, I've loaded NewGen Audio MasterCheck Pro. Programs like this are available to help you understand what is going to happen to your mixes, just the quality of your audio when it's sent through a streaming service. What this will do is in real time, it'll demonstrate and audition your audio for you through any one of the streaming practices. And taking a look at the plugin, it's really simple. Here we have our loudness K-weighted full-scale meter, our PLR, which is very important. This is our peak-to-loudness ratio. This measures the perceived density, the perceived loudness of our music. And here we've got the value boxes indicating them. Now, from the drop-down here, if you're using MasterCheck, you'll get these options. If you're using MasterCheck Pro, you'll have these. All you need to do is load any one of these standards. For example, I'll choose Apple Streaming and hit OK. Now the program is here. You can see minus 16 LKFS. This is the value that Apple Streaming, for example, is going to lower your music to for its streaming service. And the reason why these services do this is so that there's a continuity in perceived volume from song to song to song. So the listener isn't constantly reaching for their volume knob every time a different song, comes through their headphones and such. And the way this works is you also have here below what it's going to be streamed at in terms of the bit rate. You see AAC 256. So not only can we hear what's going to happen to our music when it's lowered, we can also audition it in real time through one of these converters. Let's take a listen. I'll show you what's going to happen here. Let's go back to my meter. I'll choose none here. And I've loaded the Apple minus 16. Now, when I play the song, you're going to get a value here in the peak to loudness area and what the average LKFS number is. And I should note that in order to get a proper PLR rating, one should play the track entirely through. That's going to give you the correct average. And that's what these streaming services will do, obviously, because they don't want any sudden surprises jumping out at people in the middle of the song. They'll analyze the whole song in advance, accurately find what the peak loudness ratio is before the song is loudness normalized down to minus 16 LKFS. One way I'm going to bypass that is just jump to one of the most dynamic parts of the song, the chorus. Let's take a quick listen. There. Now you can see we have an average LKFS of about -9, and our peak to loudness ratio was fluctuating around 8. This is pretty normal for a more conservative mix. Not extremely loud, but since this is going to be treated for streaming, I didn't want to be as aggressive. So keep that in mind. Now, what does this tell us? If I have -9, Apple's going to squash this down to -16. And using this offset to match button will in real time demonstrate that. Check it out. And that's what your audio is going to sound like when it's loudness normalized. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people have a misconception about loudness normalizing. It's not just turning the level down. Loudness normalizing actually calculates the perceived loudness and compensates for that as well, not just the peak loudness of your audio. And here under the monitor section, if I activate that and select 256, we can now hear what this is going to sound like exactly through Apple streaming music. Here to the right of the selectors, we have these mini meters. What this is going to tell you is it's really nasty to be clipping prior into an MP3 conversion. You'd never want to be, you never want to convert audio into an AAC or MP3 that's being clipped. I mean, it sounds bad enough already. It'll sound totally nasty that way. So keep an eye on these meters. They're there to help you. Here's none. Straight waveform. And here it is at AAC 256. Now the average here, this is going to tell you the difference between my mix and what Apple's going to do is about -5.9 LU, okay? So I have an idea. This is what I can do. I can now take my final mix, and you can trust it to these streaming services to squash down for you. That's one way to do it. Or, knowing in advance what's happening, I can now tweak my mix to maintain dynamics, punch, and clarity. And one way to do that is I've taken all of these tracks and I've assigned them to this VCA fader. Now I'm going to deactivate offset to match, and I'm going to lower this down about 5 dBs. And this is one way to do it. Let's say -4.9. Now when I play it back, my playback LKFS should be around 16 already. Let's bring it down just a little bit more. And what I'm doing now is I'm taking the entire mix and I'm tweaking it. I'm customizing it. There. Now I'll offset to match and you shouldn't hear any volume difference at all. Perfect. You see right here, 0.0. So now that there is no difference, no loudness difference between my mix and what Apple's going to do. The difference, however, is that I'm not letting the loudness normalization turn it down. I'm doing it myself. I can tweak this mix as necessary, and it's not going to squash any of those peaks more, possibly creating a more dense and lifeless mix. This is very important. So we talked about letting the codec do it, and we talked about you tweaking the mix. Why don't we load another streaming service? How about Spotify? And I'll hit OK. And you see that's -14. I'll reset my meter up to 0. Let's say 3.5 or so. Let me play this. Look at that. -14, -14. So now I'm choosing, prior to exporting my audio and uploading it to Spotify, and I'm going to show you something very important at the end of this video, why you want to consider doing this than letting the codecs at these big companies decide for you. Because after all, this is our audio and we should be in complete control of the quality the whole time. Now keep note down here under the monitor section. We've got mobile. Spotify broadcasts mobile at 96 kilobytes per second. Desktop is 160 and premium is at 320. Let's take a listen to what this is really doing. There's a difference button right here. And I'm going to play this for you. And it's going to show you exactly how much of this amazing quality is being removed to create this for your mobile app. You know what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to load something up so we can also throw in a visual with this. I'll open up Visualizer. Here we go. So we can also see and hear the effect. All right. And let's open up our spectrograph. All right, beautiful. Okay, so let's play the audio again. Now we have an image of the full scale frequency in audio. When I switch to mobile, I'm going to hear just a difference here. This is what's being removed from that. Exactly. Here's before. And here's what's being removed at 96K. Now we'll switch to the desktop app, 160. And the premium, 320. You might have to turn up your headphones to hear this, but be very careful. And then back to none.
Can you feel me now? I just can't go through that.
So I'm doing this to give you an idea of how much quality is being sacrificed through these online streaming services. All the more important reason to really pay attention to what's going on and be in complete control the whole time. Now, what I'll do here is I'm going to show you one more method that I like. Let me reset this and bring my VCA back up to 0. Here you can see I've got Ozone 8 here on my 2-mix. Let me open this up. Now, there's a really cool feature in this application. If you haven't been using this yet, definitely check it out. Down here in my maximizer, we've got a learn function, okay? Let's say I wanted to put this back onto Apple Streaming or any of these services at all. I could see it's -16 LKFS. Well, it's right here. LUFS is the same. This is just a European version of the standard. All I have to do is press the audio and press learn, and Ozone will literally, it'll match and create a -16 reference for me. Again, you should let it play throughout the entire song, but I'm just going to take it from the more energetic, strong parts for this example. Check it out. I'll hit learn and then play. There. And you can see it set it around -15.3. This would be a lot more accurate if I let it play on again. Check it out. Okay, I'll deactivate learn and you'll see right there, -16.1. So programs like this are already capable in advance of helping you work with the quality of audio and maintain that throughout. All right. Now I'm going to show you what exactly is happening to our audio. I'm going to print this version. Let's call it the CD version. I'm going to print a version at -16 using the codec, and I'm going to print a version at -16 using my method to preserve the dynamics and punch. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, check it out. In this track, I printed out my mix at full scale. All right. Now below that, here, I printed out what will happen if you let the codec decide. If you let the Apple streaming music decide, you can see that it's a lot less dynamic, of course, because it's being turned down. And to prove it, here, I'm going to play it back and you'll watch that it should be somewhere around -16. There you go. -16, -16. Now, in the next track here, what I did is I used my VCA fader to bring it down and match the codec manually. And you can see how much more dynamic and punchy my track is. Take a listen. And it's exactly at -16. So here you've got the codec doing the choices for you, and here you're in control. That's taking advantage of tools like MasterCheck Pro here, where not only can I audition it in real time through the streaming standard, the peak-to-loudness-ratio, the loudness normalization that they're going to be using, but also as whatever streaming type regarding the conversion. Here would be AAC 256. So what would I rather have in my mixes? Would I rather have the codec decide and have something like this? Or I could make those informed choices and have something like this. Audio quality is of the utmost importance, and more people are taking advantage of these tools. And the best way is to try it out for yourself. Stay busy and keep creative, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Thank you, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, Carlo, for doing another video for us. Thank you, Nugan Audio, for the giveaway as well. Please enter to win it. Go to producelikeapro.com, sign up for the email list, get a whole bunch of free goodies, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing.